Raising Kanan season 2 has been absolutely amazing. I just want to say, if you watch the series first season and the change now that we see in season 2, it is truly remarkable to see how the characters have developed and how the plot has really just become so much more than it was. And if you know what I'm talking about, please write that down in the comments. So let's get in today's video, which is specifically going to be focused on Uncle Marvin. Now, the role of Uncle Marvin is currently played by comedian and actor London Brown, and he has done such an amazing job making Marvin a dynamic character. We see this single father raising his daughter who is going through some personal struggles of her own and the challenges that he experiences being the single father to a female, and what that looks like. This season is focused solely on their relationship and the development and connection that is ultimately going to bring these two closer together in the end. So what we see as Jukebox goes around and tries to find herself after the breakdown between her and her father that occurred on season 1, we now see her being able to do her own thing, staying with her aunt, developing her relationship further with her cousin Kanan, and what that looks like. And this directly impacts Uncle Marvin because now there is a divide. He's no longer living in the same household as his daughter, and he knows that this is a problem, that his ways of being are no longer serving him. And so he's ordered to go to anger management, where he meets a wonderful woman coach, as you will, who really teaches him how to tap into that feminine energy, control his anger, listen, and it really has allowed his character to do a 180. Marvin isn't out of the woods yet, and I say that because just like we know with any Power series, everything just can't be rainbows and unicorns. There has to be some form of drama. And so while things are better for him in his personal life, as far as his business decisions go, he made a poor choice in getting some help from Rock's business partner, their business partner, on the other side. And it ended up going bad, totally wrong. And the boss's son is now dead. And the blood, honestly, is on Marvin's hands. And as we see in this very last episode, episode 8, Rock pretty much says, you know what? My brother did make a bad decision, but honestly, it was your son who decided to agree and take on this deal. And so because of that, all I can offer you is condolences, and I'm not giving my brother up. Now, I will say, shout out to Rock for standing 10 toes down on her brother, because technically she is right. Marvin did not directly impact the son being killed, but he did indirectly. So we do have to look at this as a dilemma for the series. And as we know, this mob boss is not going to let it go. And we see at the very end of the season when Marvin has now done the work for his personal life, and he has decided to reconnect with this anger management coach because he's now also reconnected with his daughter. He is so elated to tell her about his good news. And as soon as he's getting ready to spill the beans and share his excitement with her, you saw the foreshadowing in just the conversation that they were having, that something was about to happen. And out of nowhere, we hear gunshots. And so it leaves us to wonder, what is the fate of Uncle Marvin? Now, personally, this is my theory, and you can leave yours down below, but I do feel like Power is known to kill characters, and so that can happen at any time on this series for anybody. But one thing that I do know is that they're not willing to off a main character so soon in the series, because they do have hopes that this Powerverse can keep going as long as possible. So I don't see this being the end or the demise of Marvin, but what I do see is this can go two ways. One of which, I do believe that he'll be severely wounded, i.e. end up in the hospital, and this might just be the come to Jesus moment that he needs to get his house in order, and not just personally, but also professionally. Now, on the flip side, my other theory is that I do believe this new female companion who was introduced as the anger management coach, I believe that it's possible that they may take her out. Even though they have shown her throughout the series, we do know that in Power, there will be some forms of death. And I do believe that because she's not a significant enough character in the series, and it really wouldn't matter that much if they decided to develop a relationship down the line, we could really see Marvin fall in love with anyone. She's not a dedicated role. We haven't fallen in love with her. And so she is honestly on the chopping block. So I do believe that it's ultimately going to be her demise, just trying to help Marvin and really get him on the path and be this great person. And Marvin ends up being her demise. So that's my thoughts and my theories. We're going to come back next week to see what really happened. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next